everyone, this is a Greyshot117 here, bringing you another Company vs. Replay brought to you by, no, not Delta, not 151, not GTA, but Earth. Yes, Earth submitted this replay, so I want to thank him very much for doing so. And in case you're wondering, hey Greyshot, why aren't you doing a replay submitted by one of your fans? Well, I did, and then I looked at someone's name, and yeah, it was so inappropriate that I decided not to do the replay. That's right, if you have a name that is so terrible and offensive, I will not do your replay. So fun fact, don't have a very offensive name, such as the N-word 3 times, or something along those lines. You know, that could be seen as terribly offensive. Now you can say, Greyshot, don't you swear in your replays? Yes, I do. Occasionally. Actually, quite a bit now. But I do not... I do not say certain words due to context and really bad terms in social politics. So there are some things I will not touch. That is one of them. And if I see that, I'm shutting it down immediately because I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. In any case, I want to thank my patrons, supporters like Leo, Sean, Tim, and Carter. If you guys want to send, thank you for your awesome support on Patreon. If you want to support me there, you can. Or you just like, subscribe, make sure you submit those replays via my Gmail and Facebook. That also helps. We have, oh god, now I have to see this guy's name. Oh, okay, cool. We just have Falcon. We have Mandalore, great Star Wars reference. Angry Orchard and Redcon versing, of course, my brother's team. We have, was it Bridge 3 American versus 2 OKW and 2 Vermont. Alright, let's see. C-17 on the left. American forces pushing, grabbing the fuel. I think this will be the second City 17 map in a row I do. But again, it's not because I want to, it's because, well, I had a couple others in line, but I'm like, oh dear lord, there are issues here. In any case, American forces pushing up, pushing the Volk squads back pretty damn well. Very nice indeed. Again, using the heavy cover, jumping from building to building. We do have an MG coming up from Delta, with my brother bringing up some Volk squads to reinforce the front line. On the other side, we have a bunch of Volk squads provided by GTA, with riflemen coming up, taking the hill. Most likely to come down, try to flank. I'm assuming there's an MG. Yep, there it is. MG decently placed, stopping that MG. And actually, don't know why this MG is so weakened, but it is. Engineer squad going in for the kill. Can it do that? Maybe it tried to move up and then had to pull back from that MG. Who knows? Let's see. We have Mandalore. Actually, probably should check ranks real quick before I continue. I can tell you right now that GTA, Delta, and my brother are all top ranked. I'm sorry, Earth is top ranked. Delta is a newer player, so he's gonna be very low. So actually, probably it's about even right now, rank-wise. But again, rank doesn't matter. It's just playtime. If anything, the enemy team probably has slight advantage because they have more playtime than Collateral. Mandalore coming around. Not pushing back. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. He stole the Vickers. Earth stole the Vickers. Very nice job, Earth. Very nice job. We now have the MG42 moving up. Good suppression range. The problem would be up on this area if the Allies took it, but right now they're so low on infantry, I don't think they have to really worry about that for a time. Although, we have the Allies coming back here trying to decap a point, though my Delta's Pioneer squad are hoping to counter that. Let's see. We have Volk squads up here, but they're going to be overwhelmed very quickly with mortar teams, MG teams, you name it. Let's see. These riflemen also do not have a grenade yet. Oh, okay. This thing's firing grenades at that location. I'm like, they don't have grenades. Who threw a grenade? Anyway, so let's continue. So, Redcon with Airborne Company, good for heavy infantry, and also the P-47s are great for countering armor. We have the Orchard with close-range Rangers and a Pershing, which is very good heavy. It's a pretty good tank. It's not the best heavy tank in the game, but it's still pretty damn effective for what it does. Advanced Emplacement Regiment, so I'm assuming Mandalore's... Yep, there's the mortar pit. There's the mortar pit. He's going to be emplacement spamming. And that's the whole point of this doctrine is repairing and keeping your emplacements alive. And then we have infantry companies, so a lot of artillery focus. GTA went his usual fortification doctrine. Again, if you don't know, GTA likes that fortification doctrine so he can place his bunkers and get his packs and get everything else he needs down. Mortar teams, very nice. Just annihilating, unfortunately, my brother's MG. Riflemen trying to push up slowly but surely. Would help if they got grenades. We have more riflemen pushing up with an MG over here, so collateral can at least hold them back. Both squads pushing up. So it looks like it's a standstill by this road. Neither side winning, but the allies do have main control over the fuel and the star, which is putting the Axis in a bind. For example, you can see here the Axis being close to 400 points already, and already losing 20% of your victory points in the first couple minutes. Not a great way to start off. Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, back over the left-hand side. Rifleman looks like got pushed back. MG still nicely placed, although they tried to use smoke to get around. We have a nice mortar setup going in, so they're going to try to counter. Good engineer group. We have GTA with a couple of Volk squads, though with their health it's pretty low. Compare that to Earth, who has a bunch of healed infantry, and I'm assuming, no, he doesn't. He must have been lucky, I guess. MG pulling back. Infantry section opening fire, pushing back the Pioneer squad, though he is really low on men. Again, you can see here he's bumping up his infantry because he has a 5-man squad, which is pretty good, especially if he can lock it down with the infantry and then use the mortars to counter. The problem is, though, is Earth in his mortar team already set up to counter. If he can concentrate that barrage and kind of open fire, maybe he can be able to hold back the infantry. But again, that mortar pit's just lighting him up. Now, Mandalore, what are you going? You got a Beaufort. Alright, so I figured. So, I'm assuming you want to try to put a Beaufort, like, up here? Maybe that's why you're trying to push? I mean, you can try to definitely put over here. Oh, very nice positioning. I like that positioning, Earth, because, again, it's on high cover. It's harder to hit. And you could very easily overwhelm the enemy with an MG on this high place, especially in heavy cover, because it's very hard to kill. So, I like that positioning a lot. Unfortunately, it looks like you're slightly out of range, so you can't see. But it looks like that is bringing them up in the sight, so the MG might be able to open fire in a few moments, especially when they pull back. Wow, okay, that was a close-range mortar. And again, you can see here that mortar's been firing at it for quite some time, but it hasn't really inflicted that many casualties because of the heavy cover, which can keep it defended for most of the shots. Not all, as we just saw, but most. Left-hand side, it looks like that there was a big push. Didn't go very well, and it looks like that the riflemen are still holding that point, but if we can see, that position was taken out, so actually they did manage to gain at least a small objective complete, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, riflemen pushing up, doing a pretty damn good job. Very nice indeed. Very cool, pushing them back. Riflemen just opening fire, trying to push back that Grenadier squad. Throwing grenades. It looks like it's still alive, though. Mortar team's trying to set up, but again, British infantry now with Brens opening fire, just annihilating them. Brens are no joke. They are very powerful. And now, the fact they have that infantry fighting them is not good. Though they have an MG set up, so they can at least try to hold this point for a little longer, as long as that mortar pit doesn't keep annihilating them. Although, to be fair, only has... Okay, never mind, that's 8 kills. Well, how many did he... Oh, I would see, but they're in retreat mode, so I can't. Wonderful. Looks like we have a push with riflemen on the left. Middle, it seems like it's just send a unit, cap it, and leave. It's like, neither side's like, maybe we should really occupy mid. Both like, nah, we're gonna fight on the flanks. Which, again, it's on C-17, it makes sense. You fight on the 2 left points. Nice job with the Stuart. It may try to knock out that MG in that building, which you can over time. Nice grenade, pushing up. My brother's still trying to help counter along with Delta. Delta taking some casualties, though he has G43 rifles. You can see here, he went with the Jaeger Infantry Doctrine. I don't care for this doctrine, honestly. It's a little munitions heavy for my liking, but the Super Sport is very effective, and the G43's tactical movement are very good bonuses for your infantry as well. And my brother went Special Operations, so a bunch of infantry bonuses, plus you get a Panther that pretty much boosts armor, so it's very nice indeed. Pushing that Stuart back with a couple of Panzer Shreks is a very nice thing, and a Verkanwerfer. Now, let's see, what are you guys planning? So these guys actually don't have armor yet, and this American player does not have armor, so we don't have to worry about armor for the American side for right now. And again, I look at this because, again, they could probably purchase one very quickly. The British player is yet to go with the company platoon post, though as you can see, he's been really relying on more infantry and upgrading his mortar. And by upgrading, as you can see, he has better cover defenses, so he's actually immune to small arms fire now. Trying to push up, trying to find a breakthrough, but alas, it is not working. The MG just suppressing them, and yeah, just bringing down the entire line. In the meantime, GTA's like, what's up, bitch? And coming through with his squads to counteract that push. And that was a great counter push indeed, hitting them while they were retreating and hitting a bunch of British infantry, though very powerful, not as effective as if that American infantry would have supported them, and using that for a great breakthrough. It kind of reminds me of, actually, if you watch The Great War, they just did a video on the second Buslav offensive in 1917. It happened this year, or actually not this year, like at least the day of or the day before recording. But it was a big Russian World War I attack. And for those who don't know, on the Russian front, it was a more mobile war. It wasn't really trench. And then on the western, the eastern front. And on the western front, yeah, it was trench warfare because it was so dug in with so much infantry. Very nice John with the Bren, just trying to hold. Oh, yeah, you have a retreat point. That's why you're holding up pretty well. And look, it's actually giving a boost. So actually, very nice positioning here. I like how you did literally put it next to it. I hate when people do that. But anyway, the big thing about that push was it was very effective at beating back the Austrian forces, but the Austrians regrouped with Germans and I think a couple Bulgarian units and like hammered the Russians, who thought like, oh, we got this. Anyway, they pushed too far, overextended, and when they got pinned, they all retreated. Well, the Germans pushed, but the Russians kept retreating. They literally went from a organized retreat to like fucking run. So they ran and ran and ran, and the line like shot. Like the Russians lost all their territory, and then that they gained, and then lost even more territory. It was a nightmare. And it may have been one of the reasons Russia's like, peace out, we're done with this war. But I mean that, and also a civil war going on. But fun fact, I like history. Anyway, British infantry still trying to hold. Nice job with this, at least trying to keep the reinforcements up. I think a medic would be good to keep your infantry at a little bit higher health, but nice idea. Mortar pit still pretty damn effective. 19 kills and actually hurting a lot of infantry's overall health. We can see here that Earth is trying to use his mortars to focus and try to kill that, but so far not happening. We on the left-hand side, a lot of infantry. We have a Panzer headquarters on defense, so they're trying to hold this area up. Big fight going on, a little bit of escalation. Lots of infiltration grenades trying to push him off. Very nice 151. I know you learned that doctrine. Push on the right, but looks like taking a lot of losses. MG suppressing the riflemen, trying to go in for the flank. American infantry trying to find that breakthrough opportunity. Very nice Panzerfaust by the Volk squad, knocked it out before it could retreat back to the retreat point. You have yet to put down a major, but you do have this, and that allows you to reinforce your American airborne, plus it can detect infantry if they try to flank, so very, very nice. Smoke going out. I'm assuming he's deploying smoke so he can rush up with his infantry and then dropping a grenade into that building. Let's see what happens right now. Infantry running up, see if they can close the gap. Looks like they are throwing some grenades. We got 2 in the building, and I say GG. Nope, it's still alive. No, and it's like, yeah, peace. We're done. We're out. Grenade goes down. Does not as much to the building, but still manages to kill the infantry. Unfortunately, that Panzer headquarters got a clear line of sight once the smoke cleared and was able to push back the American infantry. It's very nicely done. We do have a big charge coming in. We can see here that Delta used that infantry movement to move them up to the front for better effectiveness. And they have G43 rifles, which increases their effectiveness, especially against low health infantry. So very nice. Very nicely done. G43's opening fire on that captain. Fighting position though, hoping to suppress, push them back. Looks like we have a big push over here. Mortar, again, the mortar emplacement. Taking some hits, but still going, still in the fight. Mandalore needs to upgrade that company command post right now. I don't know what he's doing, but he absolutely needs to upgrade that to help him out, because that would allow him some better artillery abilities, plus that would allow him to get armor, and that is 115, I think? Yeah, 115 for the upgrade. So if you put it right now, if he does the activation, by the time it's done, he could easily get a Cromwell or Firefly, and that would help with infantry, well, with either infantry or armor. Now, if you want to be really effective, he could also right now put an extra 50, which would take a little bit more time to get the armor, but still, you could go for a Churchill or a Comet, something more effective. Now, personally, I would go with the Churchill, because if you compare that to the Americans, while I like the Comet, you need something to contradict the Americans' weaker armor, and the Churchill would be perfect for that case. Anyway, we have the Stug moving up from Earth, trying to help counter. We have 3 mortars now, right now for Earth. Earth is trying to knock out that emplacement. I'll give him credit. He's doing one hell of a job. They may not be getting all that many kills, but they are still making this mortar emplacement work. Nice job with killing that MG. Unfortunately, those infantry are just killing him. And Volk Squad's trying to fight. Managed, even though with a couple good hits, managed to still survive and win. Over here, a lot of infantry being healed up. Now, if he could target this point somehow, some way, they may be able to effectively push them back. My brother does have recon, which I'm assuming he's going to drop. Well, let's see. If I can just click on my Delta, and we look here, we can see that he used Fog of War. Oh, there it is. There's the flares. He's trying to check this point. Now, they went mortar carriage. This is most likely to kill a lot of the infantry, which has been the main issue on this side, is the infantry engagements. And if that mortar carriage can be used effectively, it can push back the Volk squads by either one-shotting or heavily reducing the number in their squad. Not a decent hit. Push back a little, health a little bit. We have Rangers coming in, so very nice. He's getting that heavier infantry, which you see with the escalation. Pushing them back. G43 rifles coming in. You need that heavy cover. I would definitely get in that heavy cover. Or building. Building works too. Not all of them in the building, of course, because then you have grenade spam. Oh, mortar carriage getting a nice hit. Although it looks like a mortar was able to hit the mortar carriage, which is quite hilarious in my opinion. Wow. I got suppressed by a shot even though it hit the building. For Kenworth getting a nice shot on that mortar carriage now. One more shot would do it. And there goes the mortar carriage. Very nice shot. We do have an AT on standby, so they are waiting for that armor push. Though, if I had to guess what my brother's doing, he's saving up. You can see here we have the battle group headquarters. We have a third one with the Panzer headquarters, and the third one would be the mechanized. He's probably going to save up for a King Tiger. Well, Delta, as we can see here, with a lot of, not a lot, but a decent amount of fuel. And if you're wondering, like, oh, why haven't they been getting armor? Remember that the Allies and Axis over here have been fighting over control at this point. So they haven't really had fuel supremacy, so that's been a big issue. Now I'm assuming we have, yep, good old GTA brought in his own heavy artillery to help deal with the mortar emplacement, which is actually an effective combo to take it out. Also, combined one of the best tactics in this game to counter emplacements is special operations flares, because they can't counter them or shoot it down, with zeroing artillery, and it annihilates all of it. Now we can see here Mandalore finally got the armor, good with that command post, and it's a Firefly, which is something very good. Also, we have a Sherman over here. So the Allies are getting better armor, and that is actually in the nick of time, because right now the infantry taking some hits, and actually broke through, and it looks like GTA doesn't have a lot of infantry on the front, and with only a Stug, they don't have a lot of good armor to really fight. If anything, that Firefly should probably move up and curb stomp that Stug. Sorry, or I'm being honest, that Firefly does own it. But luckily, GTA has the Verkenwerfer on standby. Looks like we have something on standby to help counter the infantry. Let's see what happens in the next few seconds. We have artillery coming down, hitting that headquarters building, probably a direct strike. Most likely trying to neutralize that headquarters building, but that was the wrong target. Now you can say, Greyshot, what do you mean that was the wrong target? Well, he could easily heal that, as you can see with these Stern Pioneers. But the correct target that you want to neutralize would be the howitzer. Why? Because you can kill it, break the howitzer down, make sure they can't reman it, and would keep the emplacement alive. And that's what you need right now, keeping this alive. Though, very nice spot with the Beaufort, hoping guarding this point. Also, Beaufort shooting the AA to bring down that recon plane that was deployed. Earth went the Jaeger armor doctrine, so it has the Elephant. Very nicely done. Long range AT, and that's something different than everyone else, so very, very good. Kind of keep a variety. Plus, Earth has recon now, the spotting scope, so he can equip that Stug with a little bit of a scope, and that will allow him to see farther and actually help counteract the Firefly. If the Stug can have first shot, it can also be able to knock him out pretty easily. Now, nice job with the Oxman trying to remove that MG from the building right there. So very nice. If he can try to push up and try to overtake these points, that could really help him But unfortunately, we have a Sherman coming in, and the Sherman has the armor-piercing rounds, so it has to pull back. But nice job killing the MG, so that's one positive. Left-hand side, it is still a brutal fight. Sherman from Angry Orchard deployed, took some hits. Luckily, the Axes over here have a bunch of ATs, so they're holding out just fine. And my brother has all 3 buildings up, so he has a nice defensible location there, guarded, and pretty well defended. If anything, if I was the Axis, I would again, it's a good Greyshot mines. I'm being serious though. I would place some mines here, because if I were the Allies, I would see this as a great flanking opportunity. Come around, and you can hit a lot of these units from behind, force them back, and then press all your AT forces up and neutralize that headquarters. It's similar to what I did in a recent replay, where I literally made all the Allies turn around, and I allowed GTA and me with my armor to push up and just break their lines. We busted through, and they weren't able to recover. That's what I would recommend. Now let's see. Okay, weird. Okay, maybe not weird. But you have 2 Shermans. I would probably want the Sherman and a Jackson just on me, but I can see why you went with 2 Shermans, and I'm not going to criticize you, because right now they've only seen armor. I mean, not armor, infantry. I know it's been 21 minutes in game, but GTA and Assault really don't have a lot of armor. They have a Jagdpanzer, for sure, and they have a Firefly, I have a Stu, but they have a lot of really good infantry, and they have a Firefly. So if you want something good against infantry, which is something you're still fighting, and you don't have a lot of your own infantry to really combat other infantry, then yeah, you still want that. But luckily, this American player, Falcon, has a lot of good bazooka teams, and Bar team, so he's able to push them back. Nice shot with the Firefly, managing to slowly push them back. AT gun on standby, getting some nice good hits on the Jagdpanzer, slowly pushing the armor back. I like the slow creeping setup with the Firefly and the infantry, though the infantry retreated for some damn reason. I'm not entirely sure. Firefly has to pull back. Those 2 still providing that recon. Again, just to clarify the recon effectiveness of it, you can see here, look at that range you can see. Look how far you can see. You can see that Sherman all the way back there, and that's from its spotting scope. So, yes, it definitely has an advantage to having that spotting scope. Now, again, it has to stop moving to actually gain that ability, but it's still decent. Now, probably at this point, GTA or someone's yelling, "Good, great! Someone go mid! Someone do that!" Well, I'm actually very surprised that the Allies haven't sent a unit to take mid. Just 1 rear echelon would be fine. Now, we look at army size. We can see here that the Axis have an average of, I would say, like 60. Oh yeah. Wait, no. I'm over 65. I would say kind of like 65, about 63 average. Where the Allies have an average of about the same. So it's about even, though again, it probably wouldn't kill to send 1 rear echelon squad or something over to grab mid in the meantime. It looks like we have Earth trying to go in from a different angle. Not a bad idea. They are being pushed back slowly but surely, so that is a big issue. Nice fortifications by this guy. Is pretty much locking this area down. And yeah, he's bringing up another forward assembly. Now you're asking yourself, Greyshot, why would he build 2? Very simple. It's this: the advanced assembly. That heals both the emplacements and also heals the armor. So the fact you have those guys running around healing armor in these placements, very deadly combination. They're incredibly expensive because it's 200 manpower to 250 manpower to build it, and then 200 manpower. That's 450 manpower for a faction that requires a lot more manpower than most. But it's still pretty damn effective to have. And the fact that it heals both your base and also it heals your armor is also really good. It's something that a normal Soviet industry repair station does not. Now, probably want to move up the IT gun. I'm surprised you haven't moved up the IT gun. I feel like you want to move it up a little bit more. Firefly trying to get some hits, but we have something else hitting you. I don't know if it's okay. Maybe not. Anyway, all I know is right here is a great bomb strike. Howitzer still getting some nice hits. Again, trying to target. I think it's this area it's hitting. Okay, reposition the AT gun, so at least you did listen. Firefly still in standby. Trying to get a nice shot. Infantry moving in. Trying to fire some Brens and have the Firefly get a couple decent shots in. Maybe Mandalore get the rockets, because that way you can try to kill this stuff. It seems like it's like very close to dying. But that's me. Oh, I heard that. I was like, wait, is it coming down? There it goes. Nice hit. Unfortunately, didn't kill anything. Nice. Oh, by the way, I do want to give credit to this guy. Nice job. Because if you didn't notice, the zero artillery drop, he dropped flares. So my brother and them did the combo I talked about earlier. But the big thing is he waited to do the lockdown ability. So that way it would go for the most amount of time. And zero artillery would stop and they would still be alive. So actually, pretty good counter on Mandalore's part. So he's not some dumb player like, oh no, it's coming down. He's holding on pretty damn well, though he did take some hits, and they are weakened from it. And that Boffer is now in the ground, so I guess he did a decent job. Remanning a Firefly that got decrewed. Wow, okay, that's a blob if I ever saw one. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was going to say, where's that awesome when you need it? Just open fire on them. Oh my god. Why would you retreat all of them? Okay. Wow, nice artillery shot. Knocked out a bunch of riflemen. What was that? Was it that? Probably the howitzer, I would assume, right? Yeah, the howitzer opened fire. That was a good hit. Oswin trying to open fire, go after it, but yeah, I think it did not go out well. Jackson over here as well. Was that Jackson? Yeah, Jackson over there. Firefly getting repaired from the vehicle repair crew, and also this. Very cool. At least I think the vehicle repair crew is active. Let me double check. Yep, it is active, so they are healing. Though I will say these guys that do heal have a tendency to die very quickly, which is weird. But whatever the case, they still heal at a decent rate. My brother, no, I'm sorry, Delta has a Panther, and actually a good amount of infantry too to back him up. Like a Stuka also being deployed, and that's a big weakness for the Americans, is Stuka. They don't really have artillery. That was a great artillery hit, knocking out a lot of American forces via Red Khan's side. Red Khan doesn't have a lot of armory. Angry Orchard doesn't have a lot, so I see a breakthrough occurring on the right-hand side. Though on the left, things are a lot more dicey. I think that Earth and GT are probably going to have to stay on the defensive for a lot longer. And again, I don't think it's the American player breaking them. I think it's the British player. And that kind of goes into something that, unfortunately, I have to say, I'm fine with people having like one American doctrine, but I feel like the Americans in bulk is just not good late game. It's good early game because we saw it going head to head with OKW and Vermont, but late game I just feel without a Soviet or British support, just them by themselves are not that effective. And again, that's just me, but for mass large engagement, I just don't see it. Anyway, Firefly moving up. We now have a Churchill, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Get that heavy armor, support the tank destroyers. And it looks like on the left we have a Pershing, so never mind, this guy was saving up, and the allies, the Axis over here can have one hell of a time. Well, at least if it's used effectively. Suka opening fire, getting another, a decent hit, nothing major. Sherman opening fire, though packed line, annihilating it. Very nice defensive line. Though it looks like Earth is also taking some more casualties. Not a huge army, but still a decent one. Holding the line, as always. Artillery still trying to break this. The fact it's still alive after all this time is shocking. Firefly opening fire. Very close killing this dude. This would be where the rocket strike would be perfect. Killing it. Wait, GTA you have two? Yeah, you have two now. GTA has two, and it's weird. The fact that Mandalore doesn't want to save up and put that. Also, this is a big no-no, but I see that a lot of them have fuel points down, and I'm fine with that, but I think munition points are better for long term. And it's like, oh, Greyshot, what do you know? Okay, this is really, really sad. So this is where it's like, oh God, you can just judge me all you want. So I submitted my transcripts for my job because they lost it, my college transcripts. For those who don't know, I went to Penn State for 4 years. Go Penn State. We are Penn State. Huh? Anyway, I submitted them and I'm like, oh, it's like they asked, there was a question on the form for the submit because again, I had to submit it. They lost my form originally. Don't know how they used my transcripts, my original ones from a year ago, but they did. Anyway, it said how many hours of do you take for college? And I did the math, and it's like, okay, so I did about 2,000 hours. And then I went to go put a replay in for COH2 today. I realized that I have more than 2,000 hours in COH2. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. My entire college career is dwarfed by my playtime in Company of Heroes 2. Though I will say this, Company of Heroes 2 is dwarfed by the amount of time that I played Halo 3 custom games, stuff like that. I probably put 3,000 hours in a custom game. It was some ridiculous number like that. Pirates on Sandtrap, Infection on Last Resort, and Rat's Nest, just going around with the cops and robbers. It was all sorts of good games. Foundry, like good old days. But yeah, just to show you my credit, I want to get a certificate saying, congratulations, you wasted your life on COH2. Oh boy. Anyway, it looks like anyway, get back to the game. Redcon's taking some Commander Panzer. Why are you laughing? Commander Panzer. Oh, some artillery coming in, actually hurting that Jagdpanzer. This is where the Firefly or a Jackson on the flank would be really helpful. Oh, there's a Jackson. To kill that thing. Because right now, GTA does not have a huge army. He has a couple of Jagdpanzers, but yeah, he's lacking infantry. And Earth is just... Come on, one hit. Oh, that's a big hit. That was a 2-star 1-2. He's probably going to lose that, though. Yeah, we lost it. But actually, it's more expensive to lose that than that. So, the Jagdpanzer is way more costly. So, nice job with the Jackson. Though, it would have been nice if you escaped. Pershing's still on standby, so that thing is still alive and kicking. Though, my brother's command tank is still going to be one big headache for it. You have 2 Shermans on standby, probably a Jackson over here. Although it looks like we have a priest on the left-hand side, so bring up the artillery to counteract their own artillery, which has so far been unable to kill that mortar emplacement, which now has 45 kills. Congratulations. You have 2 artillery guns. You have 2 howitzers, and yet you're still unable to kill it. So, congratulations. Seriously. But anyway. Oh. Speaking of which, goes your 3-star one. 3-star from a mobile heavy artillery mechanized vehicle. We have a Sherman running up to kill a Jagdpanzer. Don't know why. Artillery just murdered it, so you can't recruit it. We have infantry moving up. Please don't blob. That seems to be an issue you guys have been having. Right-hand side looks like we have some type of P-47, I would assume, flying around. We have some AA, though, so that could be an issue. Now, my brother Stuka is right on that line. It should be fine, but it could glitch out and have the P-47s hit it. Now, they can easily hit the Delta's forces and fly back and kill them, but they, I think, are done, so they're going to fly away. 3-star for Kenworth, so you know that thing would work. Pershing, everything on standby. Looks like he's trying to bring in... He's trying to lure the Allies. Oh, no! P-47 going in for the strike. Can they kill it? Nope. Panther lives. Armor not falling for it, staying back. I'm gonna go heal. Though, again, G43 rifles. Nice job, Delta, keeping those guys alive. Trying to engage. Support guns opening fire, bring it in range. Trying to hold them back. My brother's infantry coming in from behind. Very nice veterancy on those as well. Yeah, the American players definitely taking some casualties. They're gonna have to hold back. It's a very nice 151 in Delta, and you're holding on the right, and actually slowly pushing them back. Though on the left, things are not going well. The headquarters building is barely clinging on. And I do mean barely, as we can see here, it's a 2/3 dead. So, and the Allies are very close to winning the game. They have... Yeah, the Axis have less than what the Allies have lost. So that's not good. Also, now is a big WTF, because now we have a 17-pounder. And Mandalore still has a ton of manpower. That's the thing, he still has a ton of manpower and fuel saved up. So does GTA, and I'm assuming at this point he's saving up for a King Tiger, but we'll see. Anyway, the reason why I say it's an uh-oh moment is A, you solve this thing right here, which is both healing infantry and armor. Same thing with this. But that thing is now boosted to guard against armor, which is all the way here. I think it would have been better to move it up slightly, but it's still covering the point pretty damn well, and will stop any armor from moving up, which essentially puts Earth and GTA into like this unfortunate corner even more, where they just are unable to push up. And not just that, their armor is all anti-tank. It's not like tank destroyers are fantastic, but they're defensive. They're not offensive. The Panther can be used offensively, but that's because just how it is. But like an SU-85 or something along those lines aren't really designed for like straight up charges. Sure, they're great for like long range, taking out key emplacements, but I wouldn't say they're for rushing or anything. That's what Panzer IVs are for and other things. So the Panzer, you can't rush up with it. You can't charge and flank the enemy with it. That's a lot more difficult with it. It can be camouflaged, but it's basically a defensive armored unit where you have the Allies. They have Shermans with smoke, they have artillery, and even though they lost the Firefly, they have Churchill to take a lot of shots to engage and break up that stuff, so that's a big issue. On the right, looks like we have a huge thing going on. Looks like the Allies are pushing up, retaking the fuel and the star, which is going to actually cause a lot of issues now. Looks like actually GTN that might be kind of spilling into mid, so we'll see how things go from there. Oh, shoot, they're very close. Now, once again, if I was this guy, if I was Mandalore, if I would get we know he has burst shells, and I would throw here to kill it, because burst shells would kill that. Absolutely. And you equipped it, and you have more than enough to do so. So there's that. We know he went with Churchill, so we know he has that that air burst shells active, so that's something I would immediately go to. Now GTA is going for the helmet, oh wow, okay. So is Earth. They're bringing out the big guns, everybody. We have a King Tiger deployed to the front. King Tiger, the probably best frontline battle tank the Germans have in their disposal in this game. Very, very powerful. Nice sloped armor, and just overall one hell of a threat. All right, you need an MG42 to help counter. Speaking of which, they've released a trailer for, anyway, speaking of Axis, they released a trailer for the Wolfenstein, the New Colossus, or Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus. Very interested in that game. I liked the first one a lot, the New Order. I thought it was a really good game. Have yet to play Old Blood, kind of want to play that before Colossus comes out in October. But one thing, I will say this, I always love reading the newspaper articles, and I did the same thing for Colossus. I know, I didn't play the game, it's true. Wow, okay. Again, upper hill. Easier for that tank to shoot down than it is for the other way around. Oh, there we go. Airburst shells. It actually a decent location because I'll stop the Tiger from moving up and actually kind of stop it and then cause some issues. So, nicely done. Tiger already taking a lot of casualties, or a lot of hits. Angry Orchard, I'm trying. Oh, God. I see a lot of death over here. Planes down. A lot of allied armor being annihilated. Looks like he's pinned against the wall, and I'm assuming that's from the Succotator. But there's one thing, I love the newspaper articles, but there's one specific one that makes absolutely no freaking sense in Wolfenstein. There's one. Just go off. Anyway, nice hit. And this is the one. It's where D-Day occurs and the Allies lose. Now it's like, oh, Wolfenstein, you know, in the New Order, if you don't know, the Axis win by getting all this advanced technology. But that's not 1944. Like, that's not when it occurs. Like, that's the biggest one. It says only 89 Germans died. It's like, yeah, but the new German guns came out in 46. And while Germans did get some better technology that did help them turn the tide against the Russian front, the Allies were probably still in Italy. and by 1944, I doubt they had the capacity to hold back and only lose 89 men and kill 156,000 men. So how exactly did they kill 156,000 men? That's also another thing. They kill 156,000, and it's like, what, on the beaches? You know they don't send 100,000 men on the beach at one time. Like, Omaha didn't have 50,000 Americans storming the beaches against Germans. It's like, there were quite a few thousand men that hit that beach and lost their lives while they kept going, but there wasn't like that many men at one freaking time charging. So yeah, that if the invasion was going bad, they would pull back, and Germany did not have the atomic bomb. They used the atomic bomb and finally created it in 48 in the game. So it's like, yeah, I call bullshit. I call bullshit on that. D-Day would probably still occur. The Allies would probably still be in France, and then once the Germans got their super advanced robotic technology and Panzerhounds, which weren't even deployed until freaking 46, they were only on the guy's secret island for defense. Apparently, when they first deployed. Oh, we're Stalingrad battle, 46. Anyway, the point of the matter is, technology recently in point 46, the Allies would still be in France and fighting. Even in the old blood, there's American forces in Germany somehow, and it's like, okay, that doesn't make sense. They're evacuating a town in Germany. Alright, cool. How the hell did they get there? How are they pulling back? They don't have helicopters. Anyway, going back to this, Elephant, Pack, and Tiger all pushing up, getting really nice blows, killing the church. Sorry, that's the one thing. I know it's stupid. That's one thing I'm just like, I call bullshit. And I ignore that. I just say they were pushed back over time. Anyway, so Beaufort and stuff opening fire. The British player are losing a lot, actually. Or luckily, he has a lot of reserves. It's very nice. And again, with that push on the right, the Allies took some severe casualties. Still have some armor and backup. And Angry Orchard, while trying, is probably saving up for a new Pershing. If I do so. He's trying to hold up, but my brother's just... tanks are just not helping. Plus, Delta has his own. He has 3 Panthers, and now they're guarding mid. So Delta seems to be focusing mid, while my brother's like, okay, I'll handle the right hand side, which just kind of shows you the fact that he's holding off 2 players. And remember, the command tank also increases sight. So in case you're wondering, it's like, oh, how do you shoot that? Well, the command tank definitely helps with boosting armor, and it's also pretty good itself. So artillery still going, still managing to hold that back. Very close to killing the Panzer headquarters. Looks like GTA still has a 4-star artillery piece, barely alive. This is very nice. Holding them back with artillery, very, very cool. Looks like American trying to open up a new flank, trying to come around the other side, and that could work. If the headquarters building is destroyed, which it is, he can come around here, and there's really nothing to stop them, and could inflict some decent casualties. Now, Delta is here to help cover that flank, so he can move up forces. It actually looks like he's helping with his own Panther he has on standby. And look at the reserves these guys have. So, Delta and my brother are in a very, very good position, where these allied players, they need to refocus, and I feel like kind of linking up with their cohorts in middle might help them out a lot. Anyway, that's what I would see.
Tank destroyer is ready for orders.
Actually, that also come to think of it would also be. Yeah, actually, there's something else. Didn't they say that? I just thought of another inconsistency in Old Blood, because they mentioned that they're still. Was it 46 that they were still hunting the American fleet, but didn't they kill the fleet in 44? Right. So, yeah, little things like that. But again, I still love the history that's in that game, because it's just so weird. It has a lot of personality to it, kind of like Inglourious Basterds or something like that, like a Quentin Tarantino film or something, which is why I really enjoy that game. Anyway, moving back to this game, 17-pounder though is the thing that's keeping them back. If they could get some recon, they could get some nice hits on that King Tiger, and actually Firefly, if they can equip it with the rockets, could like stop that Tiger and actually hold them back. Now, the problem is this Elephant that's sniping their armor. Looks like we have a hit coming in. Woo! That was a good hit. Probably should have. Oh, wait. It couldn't harden. Just did it. So that was a very good tag team. I like Force on standby. Trying to use some Jackson open fire. Command tag targeting the weak Jackson, though. Knocking out and pulling back before it can really be hurt anymore. It looks like we, yeah. Trying to very desperately to kill that Jagdpanzer, but GT is like, I'm sorry, I'm here and I'm going to live. And yeah, I feel like, again, this is just showing that the Americans really have a hard time sustaining long-term combat with Axis forces. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying that, like, you could see that the two American players on the right against my brother just slowly were pushed back. And it could be just tactics, but I think it's just how the Americans are. Now, they saw really good infantry, but you can't just rely on infantry for a game. You need a good combo. You need a good combo with armor, and I just feel it's lacking with this is German. So, the British, they have the firepower to back it up. Now, this elephant is screwed right now. It cannot move. This is where the Firefly tulip rockets would be great, because then you pin it, you just keep opening fire on it. Now, it looks like, oh, shoot. Even though it got some good hits, the elephant still most likely is going to be pushing it back. Nice miss. Wow, lots of Oswins now moving up for some damn reason. Don't understand that. I guess just trying to take the fire, maybe. Which, sure. Elephant's still down. If he can quickly heal and get back into the fight, alright, he might be able to kill it. But Earth sees this and is like, yeah, I'm getting the oh, wait, no, he's actually going in for the shot. Can he get it is the question. Engineer is currently healing the elephant in the meantime. Elephant moving up, trying to get a shot. Remember, it has a scope on so we can see farther. Firefly moving up, seeing target. Manages to get a good hit. Remember, 2 stars. Makes Firefly even a deadlier beast. Elephant has to pull back. One more shot and it could die. Pulling back down and going down. But again, the elephant was in a pin position, but very nice movement. Earth being it out of there and out of that area, which you can survive. Allies making a desperate push on the right. Axis close range Stuka bomb. Try to hold them off. Remember, all they have to do is capture 2 points and hold that for a decent number of the game. Now the Axis have turned the tide and brought, you know, the points down to about 12. So they definitely brought down from where it was, but my brother seems to be having a hard time now fighting both American players and slowly being pushed back. Delta's still guarding mid just fine, but he's probably going to move those Panthers back over to really assist. And with all 3 Panthers going over, that's going to be one heck of a flank that I don't think the American player will be able to really sustain. We have 3 Fireflies now, so Mandalore really doubling down on that, and I think that could be a mistake. I like Fireflies, I really do, but I think a Churchill would be great to absorb the elephant fire and kind of get up close and personal with that elephant if you really wanted it. Now again, we can see here there's Jagdpanzer as well on the guard. We still have that King Tiger, and Earth still has a couple Oswins, though they seem to be getting crippled. Nice shots though with the Firefly. Again, now 2 stars just put him, again, you can see your rifle crews are better able to target enemies, increasing the rate of fire. So, faster shots. Very nice. Also, 17-pounder still on standby, so he's holding back that armor from pushing mid, which is why they're so able to hold that left side. Looks like Delta is pushing up with all 3 Panthers, including command tank, and it looks like it's just wrecking them, and we have no bazooka teams at all to really stop that. I don't see any bazooka teams in there opening fire. Where's your bazooka teams? You're dying left and right. Okay, this is a great time for AT grenades. Are we gonna? Okay, maybe you fired 1. That's pinned. And now you just keep firing. AT gun on standby. And probably Delta will lose 1 Panther if he can penetrate. If is probably the big thing right now. If is the big thing. Being pushed back. Come on, can they kill it? I'm just like, I'm dying in anticipation. Come on. Oh, an AT grenade knocks it out. Poor, you lost the 3-star Panther. Unfortunately, he's probably going to be able to get another one very quickly. Jesus Christ, he has a lot of reserves. So it's like, oh, we won. It's like, not really. Because even though in World War II, even though the Axis, like, there were, I think it was a Tiger Ace commander that killed 40 Shermans while defending a hill. That killed 40 Shermans while defending a hill with a Tiger tank. I think it was a Tiger. I want to say it was a Tiger. Anyway, haha. Why are you saying haha? The fact you killed one, congratulations. He's getting another. Angry Orchard, the fact that he keeps doing that's also very weird. Anyway, air support coming in. Looks like Delta provided. Try to push back that armor. King Tiger's still on standby. Could be an issue. 70 pounder still there. Is that steering artillery? Nope. GT has not deployed that. Anyway, back to my other thing. Even though they were able to kill that, remember, America's infrastructure was intact during the war. Like, I think the most that was done to mainland, and I'm being honest, mainland America was the Germans tried using submarine warfare against the coastline, which didn't work. And then, P-47's coming in trying to get some nice kills. Luckily, we have a lot of AA, so it's probably going to be shot down very quickly. Compared to the Germans, where their planes really don't have any AA to deal with, so they're going to keep shooting. Anyway, back to my statement. The only one I can actually think of was, other than like saboteurs or something, actually a direct military conflict, was Japanese explosive balloons that they would send across the Atlantic to try to land in the United States. It would use the Gulf Stream to launch these. Children would put paper balloons with explosives on them to go across, and that was how they would participate in the war effort. That, I think, actually killed some people, and actually I think killed people recently. But that's the only thing I can think of that actually hurt, like, directly in American infrastructure. Because I know there was a bunch of fake airfield stuff that Americans planted just in case. Because, spoiler, America was on a two-front war. And throughout history, every time someone is on a two-front war, it doesn't go well. So, yeah, nice shot with the Elephant, by the way, and the King Tiger. Managed to knock out that Jackson pretty quickly. But, yeah, they still prepped for a possible attack on American, on American ground. But that just never happened, so. Because again, we were able to just keep a nice defensive perimeter around our home country and then expand rather than, and keep that expansion rather than a retreating line like the Germans had, where they pushed out, were fine from a real any bombardment. Mostly, Britain kind of threw in some stuff now and again, but turning 41, 42, it was not, I mean, Germany was doing pretty good. Then in 43, the Allied Air Force started coming in saying, "Hello, world. Germany, we're going to bring you some bombs." And poor Hamburg and everything else just got wrecked. Anyway, we have airburst shells moving out of the way. Elephant now 3 stars, again, with that recon, just to give you a perspective on how far it can shoot. Jackson's going to try to escape. Managed to get out. Very nicely done. Anyway, Allies tried to make a desperate plea on the left-hand side, but alas, he's probably going to lose that. Oh my god, that American paratrooper is just like, oh wow, I barely missed that. Whew. Command tank pulling back. 5-star Stuka, by the way, with 69 kills. Very, very nice. Pershing trying to get some kills. Try to take this point. Middle is open, but again has the MG there, so he has to move up a tank. And remember, Delta still has all the Panthers, so not likely an armor push there is going to work well when the enemy has that many Panthers. AT gun trying to help, but can't reposition in time. They have no... Oh, there we go. Jackson's moving up, but it's a little too late. Pershing's going to die. Hey, he got 2 stars before he died. Jackson missing the shot, and the Panthers escape once again. Very nice Panther. I love how Delta just comes in with the trump card, like, what up? And just wrecks them. And he has some pretty good abilities, too. So, it definitely helps having those Panther-specific abilities. GTA and them still holding, but I feel like it's more... Okay, this could be me, But I feel like this is more like them like holding on rather than pushing, because they still haven't been able to effectively take this point. And these fortifications have still lasted mostly the entire game. Like, that is still there. That one's still there. They killed the bow for sure, but... Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. That mortar emplacement's different. Yeah, they did kill the last one. Okay. So, yeah, they are inflicting some heavy casualties. And we can see all the reserves that Mandalore had are kind of slowly fading. So, never mind. They are inflicting some... Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, he lost a lot of infantry. So, I'm going to guess Stuka Bomb hit his men. Just throwing that random thing out there. Also, you can see here, there's been, unfortunately, a lot, and I do mean a lot, of dead allied forces. I mean, you have 1 Panther 4, but you have 4 dead carcasses here. So, you know, there's that small thing. Airburst shells trying to come down, but kind of missing target. Still have that artillery, now 5 stars, 61 kills, so it's been definitely hitting its mark where it needs to be. Maybe that actually killed a lot of the American forces, and I just missed it. Anyway, it looks like the Allies are still trying to make a desperate plea to grab the star, but alas, it seems like their hopes are fading. The Axis pretty much have those areas locked down, and it's going to be unlikely the Americans will be able to really hold a concentrated attack and keep that defensive hold for a point for that long. But we'll see. Looks like also we have zeroing artillery down, so that's trying to break up everything else. Nice job with the brace structure, again, kind of anticipating the artillery. Though he forgot, it looks like he forgot one. And it's probably going to die. Oh, nope, it does not save it. Probably just a little bit sooner would have. Jagdpanther's still holding it. Elephant now moving up, getting the final kill on that Sherman. And I'm gonna call it GG right there. With all the dead allied carcasses right there. I mean, like, I don't think there's much more you can really say compared to that. It's not looking good. It's not looking good indeed for the Allies. But I would say it was a pretty good game. Mandalore and Falcon did one hell of a job pushing Earth and GTA, aka Captain Salt, back to their point and still hammering them even with a decent defensive hold. I think the breakthrough, honestly, if I had to say what happened, was Delta and my brother. Now you can say, oh, Greyshot, why would you say that? Delta and my brother were able to effectively, for a time, bring both these players down, and still are causing some heavy casualties. This allowed for all their support, like close air support and stuff like that, to go more to the right. That just allowed a little bit more leverage, and that, along with the heavy armor push, which I would say is the other big contributing factor, would be the Tiger and the Elephant, which they've been unable to kill, which is the thing. It's just like they keep soaking the damage and slowly pushing and advancing. That would probably be the other factor to help them break those. Because again, this Elephant has 10 kills, and most of that is 6 armor. And the King Tiger has, well, no armor kills, fly infantry. Which, okay, that's fine. But yeah, the armor, that heavy armor is what turned the tide as well on this left-hand side. And just be able to keep units alive. But the Allies now are starting to take some massive casualties and unfortunately aren't able to repair them. Yeah, the British players lost everything. On the left-hand side, looks like all the armor's on standby, so like pushing up. I'm going to fast forward from this point. There's not really too much going on left. Panthers pushing up, pretty much taking out what's left. Not really much to say. But overall, it was a really good game. Yeah, and it does show where it's like a flank really, like a direct confrontation wasn't working for the Americans on this left-hand side. They really need a flank. If they would have came down back here and kind of caused havoc, it's just a game, LOL. Yeah, thank you, 151. I like id, not did, but whatever. And to be fair, that was still a very close game. The Allies brought them down. But yeah, I feel like a couple more effective flanks really would have done it. If just for a moment, if the American player with the Pershing instruments would have came over here and flanked over here, just kind of sending, I mean, like, he already, I know he was focusing there, but if he would, they had the point in mid for so long for the Allies. If they would have just came over here and harmed them here, or even actually taking mid, if they would have taken mid, they probably would have won the game because it would have caused additional points, and then just one extra point would have probably just helped win the game sooner. But anyway, yeah, just moving armor here to flank and then moving up the other allied armor in the region would have broke GTA and them, especially before the Elephant and King Tiger were deployed. So that's something, again, for unit distribution. But overall, it was still a pretty effective game. Also, the airburst shells, I feel like you should have probably targeted these locations, not really just in front of armor. That occasionally works if the enemy's not paying attention, but GTA and Earth are pretty effective at identifying those marks. So they're like, oh, there's airburst, let's move back. Whereas you probably should have targeted these things that bring their health down. Anyway. Overall damage, I'm going to say, no, Earth did not get it. I'm actually surprised with the Elephant. It went to, wow, GTA with most damage, but my brother got most kills. Very nicely done, 151. And on the enemy team, we have Mandalore. Yeah, I absolutely think Mandalore is the best player on their team. I originally was, like, worried, but he was able to keep his emplacements alive. He was able to effectively, with his Fireflies, neutralize a lot of German armor, and also keep the front line pushed against the German line for so long. I honestly thought GTA and Earth were going to crack. So, very nice job. Well done game. Great job all around. And yeah, I do agree with Angry Orchard. Why? What's like, it's like, you mad, bro? Why you mad? Just calm down. But in any case, that's game. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Submit those replays, and I'll see you all next time.